Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Draft Day Sports Pro Football 2021 Developer Dynasty here at Wolverine Studios on our Twitch channel. We are very excited to do our post-launch stream here, which will be the final one in the Developer Dynasty portion for Draft Day Sports Pro Football 2021. We are really excited about how many people so far have not only pre-ordered the game but ordered the game in the first 2 days it's been available post-launch. So we've got a really good group of community here that we're building with the football games. Thank you, as always, before we start, to our followers. We got a couple of new followers in the past day or so. So thank you to those new followers, and of course our subscribers who supporting the channel either by paying for their subscriptions or through their free Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime subs. So we appreciate everybody who's doing that, and most importantly appreciate everybody who has purchased the game and all the help that you gave us during the first access period to get it ready for release. So as always, here for the Developer Dynasty for football, we have the man, the myth, the legend, the creator of Draft Day Sports Pro Football 2021, Brooks. Brooks, say hello to everybody for me.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us on the stream.
And it's a sigh of relief for Brooks and myself, as it's always good to get through first access and get that game released, and just get it out there and start getting a wide array of feedback, and start getting hopefully reviews and stuff like that. We'll start working on things like that. But Brooks, we had a major rebuild of the game this year. This was not like previous years where we had added on to what we did. You tore the whole thing down, built it back up on the AU platform. So what now that we've gone through it one time here, what were your thoughts in working with the platform and getting the game to where it is now?
I think it's a really good platform. I like the way that the game turned out, for sure. There's a lot of things about this platform that were easy to use and make a pretty large impact for pretty minimal amount of work. But it is a new platform, so a lot of the stuff that we had working really well in our past versions. I mean, after you spend 2 or 3 versions working on something, you really have a lot of time to clean a lot of stuff up. There's going to be issues. There's going to be things that are harder. There are going to be things that don't turn out exactly like I want, or there's things we just flat out don't have time for. So, there's a healthy mix, but I definitely think there's a lot more positives and negatives, and we hope that the community sticks with us as we hone this one, just like we did the last version. And I think our ceiling is much higher under this AU platform with what we can do with the game and how where we can take it versus we were pretty well tapped out with the old design, just being limited to some of the factors of that platform that we were using. So I'm happy with it. I'm excited for how it turned out. And I mean, as a release goes, this one's tough, because I know a lot of people probably wouldn't believe it, but I am a bit of a perfectionist, and I can't stand putting stuff out that isn't perfect. But at the same time, we've agreed that we're going to be putting out games every year. We don't just want to rev some rosters and throw some of the same old out. We really want to add new stuff to it. We want to make it better. And this time around, we chose to use the platform as the way to do that. And there's just going to be things in there that we just couldn't get to. It's not that we don't want to. It's not that we think it's perfect the way it is. No, I mean, there's always going to be room for improvement. But eventually, just like with tests in the real world, you got to put your pencil down and turn in your work and get your grade and move on to the next one. And that's what I plan on doing. So appreciate everybody sticking with us as we go through this.
Yep, and I think that I think one thing that we've shown through this through this process is that where Wolverine Studios is going with the games. I think that there's obviously some big time players in the the sports sim genre. When you talk about Football Manager, you talk about Out of the Park baseball. I really think that Wolverine Studios is heading in that direction where we've got games that are really deep. They're really really well done, really well put together, and they look fantastic. I mean, this new platform, what we've done here on the AU platform, I think really brings a new feel to the game. It's much more modern. Everything flows better, and I went through it last year with the basketball games. That first one is tough. It's really tough when you go to start and you're starting from scratch basically, and just pulling pieces that you can out of the old game and start working with the new one. So I give Brooks a ton of credit for how quickly football came together on the pro side here. Asger did a great job as well, and we were able to take sort of the UI design that I developed for basketball and apply it here and make it look really good. So I think it really came together well. I'm really happy with it, and I know that everybody now is going to be waiting eagerly for the move on to college football. But as Lee Corso says, not so fast. We're not quite finished with pro football yet. We've got, as always, Brooks is committed to making the game as good as it possibly can be. And he just let me know that he's working on the first update here, which is going to be available shortly, sometime after the stream. I'll get it posted. So, Brooks, you want to talk about what's coming up in update number 1?
So the last things that we were trying to fix before we released was a issue where some folks were upgrading and having some issues with resolution, switching between monitors and that kind of thing. So we were working with the developer, the actual platform, to see if we could come up with a fix. So that was one I knew was on my list to get in as soon as that fix was available to us. So we did get that in. We believe that part is fixed. It's not something that I can reproduce on my setup here. So hopefully we have some folks out there that'll, hopefully nobody notices that it was ever broken in the first place. But if folks do run into issues when they're resizing the game or moving between monitors or whatever, please let us know, because that's one of those that we've been trying to track down for a couple months now. That one's been a tough one to work on. So other than that, most of what we found is a result of regression issues from switching to that. There's a few screens that don't load quite right. There's some flickering going on and some of those things that are basically they're fixed now that new update is in, and that'll all be in the build. And while we were in there, we were able to take care of some of the issues that people have already brought up on the forums. So we have things like changing positions and like features like that, where there's some discussion between Pro Football 20 and 21, and where I wanted to take the game more towards an area where skills were more important than labels. But there are some drawbacks to that. There's some online leagues that have some issues that potentially crop up, and there's some engine mismatches in some of the ways that it handles those kinds of things. So for those leagues who have concerns about switching positions and about people misusing it, or the way that the game calculates salaries, it's we added options in there so that those folks could turn things off, or at least limit the amount of position changes that could be made. So it works really similar to the way PF20 worked. So hopefully that makes those folks happy. They don't have to worry so much about a big dramatic shift to skill-based performance. We also fixed some issues with some scouting. We did some stat tuning to fix some issues with receiving yards as well as quarterback rushing. There was a fix in there for play being off, where it was showing the result of the play before, or not really the result of the play, but the ball location was still showing up on the screen before the play actually resolved. So little things like that have been fixed. The last thing I put in was a checkbox to be able to turn on or off the rotating stat boxes and the play-by-play box so that for those folks who want a more streamlined view of the game and don't really want all the extra motion going on or too many things to read or whatever, they're able to turn those off if they just don't want to see them. So hopefully that helps with people who like a cleaner view. And I like all the things on there the way they are, and I look at different parts of the screen based on how I'm viewing the game. But I know everybody has a different way of playing, and we want to make sure we accommodate as much of that as possible. So those are most of the things going in the first patch, and we posted things on the forums, and we've been communicating with folks as we fix things. So hopefully this is all just more of a stability kind of really build than anything else.
Yeah, and I give you a ton of credit on the openness to being flexible with things. As a developer on the basketball side, I get a lot of the same requests. I like this, I don't like this. Can we turn this on? Can we turn this off? Can we tweak these? And you know sometimes they're easy additions, a simple variable you're tracking or something like that. Other times it's not, and it takes a little bit of doing and kind of figuring things out. And but I give you a lot of credit on that. And and I hope that the community appreciates your willingness to make those adjustments and try to give the game. Obviously we have to stick with an overall plan of where the game's going and what the game's about, but giving everybody as many options as they possibly can, I think really opens it up to a lot of people who are playing, and really gives everybody a chance to have a great experience. So we have a question in the chat box from Talon. And by the way, anybody else who wants to chime in the chat box, feel free to do so. We're just talking about the game. Everybody's having a great time with it, and you can ask any questions, anything you want to see, anything you want to discuss here while we're here. But Talon, and thank you for your subscription here and all your hard work in the community. He says he loves seeing the free agent coach pool during the coach hiring section. Would love to be able to export or edit the coaches like you do with players if possible in next year's game. So,
Sure, I can have that done in a year. I mean, all kidding aside, to be honest, I completely forgot about importing and exporting coaches and allowing people to edit them. That was something that I had planned on putting in this version, but as time went on and as we were working on replatforming everything, it just got pushed to the back of my mind. And until he just now mentioned it in the chat box, I'd completely forgotten that I was going to try and put that in. So that's something we'll have to add to the list for next season. It's definitely something I'd like to get in there. I know a lot of people like to potentially even create real world mods where they have actual coaches and they're able to set up coaching personalities and named and even imagery and all that to make it even more immersive. So it's my bad for not getting that in there. Obviously we're way past out of time for something that large, but we'll definitely keep it on the list and try and get to it next version. And yeah, and thanks Talon for the kind words on that. The one thing that I've tried to be for as long as I've been building these games, and this one goes back to, I don't know, 2006 or whatever, is that I want to make sure that I'm building something that people actually use. In the very beginning, it was a game that I wanted because I had personal aspirations for being able to run online leagues. So I was really heavy into the multiplayer focus. And as time went on, it's not just my game; it's a community's game. And so I definitely want to make sure that we're listening to where the community wants to take it. For our large supporters, we want to make sure we're helping them out and building something that they could use for what their visions are. And as long as it's within reason, as long as it's doesn't cost us thousands of man hours, as long as it fits within the structures we've set for the games, and absolutely, we want to be approachable. We want to listen. We want to do what we can to make this game work for as many people as possible. So thanks for those kind words. So John Trippy's asking about what's new with the 2D simulation. Most of the engine stuff that's inside the 2D simulation hasn't changed. It's a lot of it's still the same. What's changed is the presentation, going from the smaller fixed size box that we have to now something that scales with the screen, allows us to have a little bit more of a grander view of what's going on the field. Uh, so those are where most of the work went in. Obviously, as I was in there, I tweaked and fixed some of the nagging things that we had with you know just differences in the way the plays were being calculated, and sometimes the plays didn't make a whole lot of sense with what the players were doing on the field. So we cleaned up some of that while we were in there for this version. Um, and then so Talon's answering him.
Yeah, I think we got everything caught up in the chat box now. But
Yeah.
it's first of all, if anybody is in the stream here who hasn't bought the game, or hasn't, you can go to wolverinestudios.com right now. There's a link at the top that says free demos, or if you're on the Draft Day Sports Pro Football 2021 official homepage, there's a link to the demo. You can sign up for that free demo, get the free demo. You get a week to play it. You can check out everything. So don't take our word for it. Go download that demo. Play the heck out of it for a week. And I think it won't take you very long to realize just how awesome the game is, how far it's come, especially if you've played older versions, and you'll be in the web store ordering your key. And just, as soon as you order that key, you don't have to re-download anything else. You just put the key in next time you play, and you've got the whole game unlocked, and you can keep continuing your seasons. I also want to take a quick second and give a huge shout out and thank you to the people who have been doing mods in the community. I mean, the game has been officially launched for about 2 days now, and even prior to that, I saw the real world mods are out there. There's GM Games put together a face pack mod. There's Slybell in our community. I think has an all-in-one installer that downloads and installs the logos and the team names and all this kind of stuff. It's amazing to see the support of the community come out, so quickly, so strong for the game, and everybody's looking to make the game a better experience, for everybody else, and that's that goes back to what Talon mentioned in the chat here, saying that he's got friends that play other games and they're jealous to how open we are to ideas and suggestions. I mean, I say it most streams, and it's not just the line. We make the games improve every year based on feedback from the community. And like Brooks said, when he started, on his own with what is the basis of the game now, you start making it and you want to make something people want to play, and you want, and that's same experience with me when I started developing basketball games. At first I did it because there wasn't a sim game out there that I liked, that I felt did everything that it should, and I started making it for me. And then you start building onto it, and you say, hey, I want to share this, I want other people to play this. I think we can build something here. And as that community grows and builds, things get better and better. And I think you look at where all of our games are now, and you can see how much they've improved year over year, and you can just you can picture where they're going to go. And I'm so pleased with everybody who's kind of in on the games now and helping us get to that, get to where everybody wants the game to get to. You're all part of building this, and all part of building what I think is something pretty special here. I think we've got something really great going here at Wolverine Studios, and with Brooks and Asger on the football line, and me on the basketball line. I think that the future is very bright here, and we thank you for being part of that. We've got another new chatter. So welcome. This is The Game Looks Great. I've been really eager to get into it again. These new changes might just be the thing that gets me back into it. I might even stream it. That'd be awesome. If you stream it, we had one new streamer today who tagged us on Twitch. We retweeted that, and we're getting people out to, if you're going to stream, whether it's on Twitch or YouTube or whatever, post it on Twitter and tag us at Wolverine Studio. We will retweet it. We will do anything we can to get people to come to your streams to share. We want to see people playing the game. It's really cool for us to see people, streaming, playing the game. So whether you're just doing it by yourself, if you've got a league you're running and you're on, you got that league on Twitch or YouTube with streams, let us know. We'll do everything we can to to support your streams and to help get the word out about what you're doing, because it helps us. It shows off the game to new audiences and stuff like that. So we really absolutely encourage you to stream, and we'll do anything we can to support you doing that.
I really enjoy watching other people play the game because it opens my eyes to what they're seeing. You know, whether they're commenting on things or clicking around or trying to play the game a certain way, it's fascinating to me to see, and it helps drive different aspects of development. Right? It helps us decide, oh, this part doesn't working as well over here. This part's a little clunky, or boy, if we just added a button here, it'd make this guy's life so much easier. So yeah, I mean, I enjoy watching other people play, and I enjoy being able to interact with them. And if it's a learning curve thing that we can help with, absolutely we will. And if it's if there's a deficiency in the game somewhere that we think we can address, yeah, we'll take care of that too. That's what we like to do. So I'm encouraged to see that. The other thing I'll say is that I know when sports games, in particular, people have asked me why do you release every year? Why don't you go to every other year? Or why do you put yourself through this grind every year to try and rush through and do these things? And there are a couple of things that I'd say to that. One is we want to try and have the rosters and the rule set and whatever be as up to date as possible. So I don't really want to put out a game where people are playing it and they can't match what the real world looks like because the game is 2 years old or whatever and doesn't match up. But the other reason is that we want to be forced as developers to constantly evolve the game as much as possible so that every year people want to buy it. They want to play the latest and greatest. I know in a lot of my cases, I don't buy every version of some of the other games that are out there. I'll skip a version or skip two or whatever until I see something that really motivates me to want to play it. So as developers, we want to combat that. We want to make sure that every year, if somebody asks, should I upgrade? The answer is yes. I mean, there's always something better. There's always something worth upgrading for, and it's up to the consumers to decide if that's true for them or not. But this particular version, if people have been playing Pro Football 16 or 18 or whatever, and they've skipped a couple of versions or whatever, I think this one feels like a much, much bigger impact of an upgrade. So hopefully, people agree with that. Hopefully people like it. We get some upgrades from people who have been fans for a while, and hopefully they see all the benefits of the new thing.
Yep, and I think I think that that's going to be absolutely true with the 2021 version. I think it's really revolutionized, what the football game, is for our studio, and I think that I think people have, I see people. I try to be part of other communities and listen into those discussions and see what they have to say. I see people were disappointed that Out of the Park didn't have a football game yet. And I look at our game and I tell them, look, come try this, because, everything that you love about Out of the Park, its depth, the way it looks, stuff like that, that's what we're doing here. We've got what you want here. Just, you might not know about us because, we're obviously not as big as, Out of the Park or anywhere near as big as High Games. But, I think that we've really provided a premier football sim right here. And I think, I think that, if, like I said, if you haven't tried it, go to the website, wolverinestudios.com, and download the free demo. I think that just playing it, it's great watching it on the stream, but I think go and play it for yourself now that there's the demo available and you can see everything and you can get your hands dirty with it and you can get into it and just see how awesome the game is. So I highly recommend that if you haven't tried it, to get that demo. And the other thing that Brooks mentioned about, yearly releases, what we try to do is if you buy the game from us, we don't have any control over if you purchase on Steam. If that's how you like to go, we're cool with that. But if you do purchase from us, we have your information that you purchased from us. We know that, that you bought the game here, and we try to offer you, something next season when the next version comes out, we'll have a special discount that goes out to people who purchased the prior version from us. And as you know, in our pre-orders, we've been giving out Steam keys to anybody who pre-orders. So if you like the games on Steam, which I totally understand because some people just like to have that platform with all the games, you can always pre-order from us, get that get that free Steam key when the game is released, and then go play on Steam. And then because you ordered from us, we have your order history, and then we can offer you incentives, later on in the year for other games, or next year when the new version comes out, we have an even bigger discount than the typical pre-order discount that's to the public. So we want to try to encourage you not only with having great new features and new upgrades in the game and things like that, but we want to encourage you to stick with us and stick with each version and give you something back in the way of a discount to do it. So we appreciate all those. I've been looking through the people who pre-ordered and have submitted their claims for the Steam key, and I look at the order histories and stuff like that, and we've had some guys who have just an order history that's a mile long, and I so appreciate that, and it makes me feel good to know that we're connecting with people that do want to come back year after year, version after version, and they look forward to the latest and greatest because they know that they know that they're going to get something really good from us every year. And then
we couldn't do it without.
Oh, go ahead, Brooks.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without the community that we have and the support that we get from folks. I mean, they're helping push us forward on a lot of this stuff, and they stick with us through it all, and that's fantastic. I mean, to even be mentioned in the same breath as Out of the Park or Football Manager or some of those really big guys out there, I mean, that's decently high praise. I mean, I know those guys are larger studios with a lot more manpower and a lot more resources, and for us to be able to create something that people feel is in the same vein, or you're going in the right direction, to be up there with those guys, that's high praise. It's definitely appreciated by me. If you would have told me 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or whatever, that we'd be creating something that was this up and coming and popular with the football community, I would have taken it in a heartbeat. So thanks to everyone for sticking with us and seeing how far we can take this thing.
Yep, and it's really because of that support that we're able to continue on year after year, and the studio gets bigger and bigger, and we expand our reach. And then the one thing that I do ask everybody who can to do is to tell one or two people about the games. So somebody who likes the same kind of games that you play. Everybody knows somebody, whether they know them in real life or they know them on Facebook or Twitter or message boards or something. Somebody who would like this game. So tell them about it. Tell them that there's a free demo they can try. They don't have to put the free demo is free. You don't enter, like on these other websites, you don't enter a credit card to get a free demo or something like that. Like, whatever websites are used to signing up for to get your free demo of whatever it is. You don't enter anything. You just give us your email address and you get the free demo, and then you can play it and you can decide for yourself, whether you like it enough to purchase it, which hopefully you will. We think you will. But tell somebody that about our games. Tell join a league. There's some great leagues out there. If the leagues are full, learn about the game enough and think about starting another league. There's the more people we get into the game, the better it will be for everybody to have more leagues and more interactions. And as we kind of figure out the platform here on Twitch, we'll find new ways to interact with you. The Developer Dynasty streams have just kind of started by accident. It wasn't like I planned this great idea and had this. It was just sort of an accident that came about. But I think it was really, really useful in the development of both pro football and pro basketball. It's still going on. So we will definitely continue doing the Developer Dynasty streams. Once we get college football 2021 to the point that we have some things to show off and some things to talk about, we'll pick that back up. We'll pick up the football Developer Dynasty again. With that, the basketball Developer Dynasty is still going on Tuesday nights, and in fact, this coming Tuesday, we're going to talk about when first access will begin for the for Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 2021. So we're going to keep going here on Twitch. We're going to keep engaging you with anything that we can to listen and to connect with you guys and to see where where you can help us take the games. So as we finish up this final Developer Dynasty stream for Draft Day Sports Pro Football 2021, Brooks, I want to say you did a fantastic job this year. I firsthand know the stress and the pressure of porting the game onto the new platform, and thanks to Sean Sullivan as well for his help in getting it there and for developing the platform for us. Anything else you want to say before we sign off here on the Developer Dynasty, Brooks?
No, I've had fun streaming. I've had fun being on Twitch. I've had fun developing. I've had angst developing as well. But the pros have been a lot more plentiful than the cons. So thanks to everyone who's been along with us as we've done this and participated in these streams. And we look forward to seeing you on the forums and seeing you in the Slack channels. And if any of you guys are streaming or on Twitch or whatever, let us know. And I'd certainly like to check out some of what you guys are coming up with. So this is not the end. This is just the start of this release. We hope to put a few more bells and whistles in and fix anything that comes up. So as you guys find things or want to chat about how the game's working for you, then please let us know, and we'll keep working on it.
Awesome. So thank you everybody who obviously everybody who's purchased the game and has supported us by doing so. To our the people here on Twitch. We've been on Twitch a couple of months, I think, since back in May. To have following on Twitch, of any size at all, when there's so many things out there, and we have people come back every week to hear the Developer Dynasties and be part of kind of what we're building, is really amazing and really unbelievable that that we can build start to build the community here on Twitch. So thank you for your support here. Thank you for all the kind words and anything that you're doing out there, whether it's telling people about the games, whether it's running a league, whether it's streaming yourself on Twitch, YouTube, whatever. Let us know what you're doing. We'll share it with our community. We'll help try to build a community for you in your streaming efforts. You help build our community and get us more players, and that's what it's all about, working together. So huge thanks to Brooks and Asker for their work on this year's version. I know everybody who is excited for Draft Day Sports College Football 2021. You're looking at the model for what it will be like and look like and feel like. So get excited for that. We'll be back with the Developer Dynasties for Draft Day Sports College Football 2021 as soon as we're ready. But for right now, go and enjoy the heck out of Draft Day Sports Pro Football 2021. It is a fantastic game. In my opinion, it is the best franchise mode football experience you can buy right now, and you will not be disappointed. So go grab it and enjoy the weekend. Have a great weekend playing Draft Day Sports Pro Football 2021. We will see you back on Tuesday night for the Developer Dynasty for Pro Basketball 2021. And until next time, for all of our football fans, thank you for all your support through this. And we look forward to not only doing more on Pro Football 2021, but getting to the college game very soon as well. So thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend and enjoy some football.